Alright. Hi.
Welcome. Hi. Yes, everybody. I am pleased to introduce ComplexBeaver running Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on PC in the any percent category. Yeah, good luck on that and have fun.
Do you have the game? Oh, you do. Okay. So I'll just count me down whenever I'm ready.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so in 3, 2, 1, go. So, hi, I'm Beaver. So I'm doing HP2 Any, which happens to be the shortest category of any, or shortest main category of any Harry Potter game there is, which is odd because I'm normally known as the person who does stupidly long categories. Also, that's a great start. So you notice Harry is a... Harry just kind of went flying there. He's gonna do that a lot during this. So, for some reason, if you change your brightness while you're grabbing a ledge in this game, Harry likes to go flying, and we use that a lot to skip a lot of levels. And that's one of the two main glitches that we'll be using. The other is called Quidditch warping, which essentially does exactly what it says. We can warp to Quidditch whenever we want, essentially. Well, once we have Quidditch matches unlocked, which is after Quidditch practice. And we'll use that to skip entire levels at a time. So yeah, that's fun. This run only lasts like half an hour or so, but it's really jam-packed with a lot of interesting glitches and stuff. And just after this, I'll be doing another game, which is Harry Potter 3 for the PC, which is has a lot less glitches, and by a lot less I mean there's like 1 or 2 depending on what you consider a glitch. And we'll be doing 100% for that, so it'll be a bit more interesting. Or a bit different, rather. So instead of walking up to Defense Against the Dark Arts class, which is where we're supposed to go, we're gonna just boost up there. This glitch is called brightness boosting, by the way, because we use the brightness to boost. Also, you'll notice that we're playing in Swedish, and that was found out a couple months ago, or more than a couple now, that Swedish is actually like 25 seconds faster, so it's very nice. Also, hey Focus, thanks for the raid, how are you? So if anybody knows Swedish, have at her. I don't know anything. So yeah, I've actually been running these games for quite a long time. It's almost 6 years at this point. But recently I've stopped doing a lot of the PC games to learn all of the Harry Potter games, because I'm insane like that. But that's okay. So if I fail one of these error key challenges, it's not my fault, trust me. The game just hates me, okay? But it's fine. If it fails, it's literally the game's fault. It's called a fake input, and we just have to do an extra round, and it loses like 10 to 15 seconds depending on the spell.
Bra, Harry. Du har gått vidare till nästa rond.
So Rictus Emperor is actually one of the least interesting levels. Or it's both an interesting level and an uninteresting level at the same time, because we actually have to play through the whole thing, which is one of the few levels that actually happens. But it has some cool brightness boosts in it, including one right at the end, which is quite difficult, that will let us boost up an entire tower at the end. Alright. So Harry's momentum is preserved when he jumps off of moving platforms, so we're gonna jump off this early, and we're actually gonna jump super high. And I jumped early, my bad. That's okay. It shows that I haven't run PC games in a long time, right? Another thing is you see me pausing here and there, and that's because Harry has a cooldown for when he can cast a spell. But if you pause and unpause, it negates that cooldown, so you can just cast your next spell straight away. Quite nice. I'll be grabbing a few extra save books during the run just because there's places where the game can softlock, like this one. Sometimes when you trap these fire crabs, they like to get stuck on the walls and not actually drop into the pits, and there's no way to fix it. But we're fine this time. One thing that you can't actually tell is that I'm actually using 2 inputs for every directional input, and the reason for that is because Harry has a faster acceleration. If his acceleration doubles if you set multiple keys to the same, like forward, back, right, or left inputs. And I'm just used to holding both the entire time, so instead of starting with 2 and changing to 1, I just hold 2 the entire time, essentially. And if we were able to set even more keys to do that, we would get even faster and faster acceleration, but using in-game features we can only set 2. You were gonna jump over this chasm, because why not, and then get right into this boost, and I boosted late. Interesting. I haven't done that in a while. It's the wrong way to grab. To get up here and skip actually putting that fire crab in. See that crab slip there? So instead of actually doing what's intended here, we're just kind of gonna do this. And Harry's still moving underneath, you see there? And then we're just gonna spam our arrow keys, and now we're done the level. So by spamming my arrow keys, it was actually moving the brightness slider back and forth, because that was the last slider that I used in that menu. So that was making Harry boost every time that I hit one of those keys. So here there's 2 possible sets of RNG because we hit that invisible trigger rather than actually grabbing the star. We could either be in here for 10 seconds or 20, and we got 10, which is nice. So we don't lose 10 seconds for no reason. Now we're going to go to Quidditch practice, which will unlock the first Quidditch match, which will allow us to warp to Quidditch matches later if we so choose, which we will so choose. Also, Lee Jordan is our enemy. He's the announcer during Quidditch matches, and basically the more he talks, the more time we lose. And that's one of the reasons why Swedish is so much faster, because his possible lines are all except one are very fast in Swedish, whereas in English a lot of them are pretty slow. But right now it's not actually Lee Jordan. Not that you would be able to tell really, because voice actors. This is actually just Oliver Wood talking to us, telling us what we can and cannot do. Hopefully this Seeker doesn't hit us while we try and hit her, but she did. She loses 2.5 seconds. There's actually a soft lock that can happen in the next class, which is potions. If you decide that you want to go fast, then you are guaranteed to soft lock, because the game hates speedrunners, apparently. And basically the reason is because if you go too fast, you'll have Snape trying to say 2 dialogue lines at the same time during a cutscene, and the game doesn't like that, and so Harry just never moves away from the cauldron. So to do that, we have to wait to walk into the cauldron before... we have to wait for Snape to start saying his next line before we walk into the cauldron. Like that. Just wait on top of the chest for a bit. I have a visual trigger that times it pretty well. So this next arrow key challenge is Scourge. It's actually the one that's most likely to give us a fake input. So if I fail an arrow key, it's really not my fault. And it's actually been so rare that it happens at a marathon for some reason. But like, it's actually super common when you're doing runs. Like, it happens like probably close to 50% of the runs. And it's stupid because it loses like 18 seconds in Scourge, depending on which round you get it on. If you get it on the first round, then you just keep on failing because it will be faster at that point. You only lose like 10 or 12 instead of the full 18.
Koncentrera dig på symbolen framför dig. Trollstaven kommer att börja röra sig längs symbolen. Precis när trollstaven passerar.
But then Scourge is a very interesting level if you were to actually play it. We'll play it, but it will last like 10 seconds. Whereas in like a glitchless setting, it's more like a 2-minute level, and in a casual setting, it's like a 4 or 5 minute level. But yeah, it will last 10 seconds. But we'll actually physically complete the challenge. We're not going to warp out like some later levels. So the more errors that we get, the more donation. Sorry?
Can I hop in for a small donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ginge Swag Tia donated $20 saying, "Let's go Hagrid!"
Unfortunately, we don't get to see Hagrid in this game. It's very sad, but we'll see him in the next game. Oh, look, there's a fake input. Amazing. There is some points where Hagrid appears in this game, but just not in any speedrun. Literally no speedrun, actually, now that I think about it. Even cutscene percent, we don't see him in a cutscene, which is insane. Where cutscene percent is just, we literally don't skip cutscenes, and it takes like an extra hour. That just shows you how many cutscenes there are in this game. But yeah, even in cutscene percent, we can skip, like, we can get around the triggers of all the cutscenes that have Hagrid, if I'm not mistaken.
Bra! Du har klarat alla de nödvändiga övningarna. 15 poäng till Gryffindor.
Yeah. Alright, so here's the Scourge level. The star is below us right now. And we're just gonna kind of jump into this wall. And hopefully this doesn't take too long, because this angle is very precise. Ooh, that one was close. I had a bad setup though. Oh, come on, stay up, Harry. Come on. That was bad. Please. Anytime, Harry. I think my angle's really bad right now. There we go. And then we can just fall straight onto the star to complete the level. So maybe a bit more than 10 seconds, but that's okay. Harry basically clips up like a whole like foot's worth more than what it looks like he's gonna do. Like where it looks like he's gonna land when that happens, and that gives us just enough height to get over. So now we have arguably the hardest level in any Harry Potter 2 speedrun, PC speedrun, which is Bicorn. And one of the reasons is because we actually have to play it. We have to get the item at the end to progress in the story. But it has some pretty tough boosts. And the category that this level is actually the worst is jumpless. This was the last level that was found to be able to be completed jumpless, which made jumpless a possible category. Goyle is harder in some, depending on who you ask. Like, probably in Warpless, Goyle would be harder, yeah. Why did I cast it? I was not supposed to cast that guy. If I did it correctly, he was just gonna walk in here on his own. Or slide in here. So you can see how being able to cast as fast as you want is useful here, rather than waiting for the cooldown. You can just get those crabs in there straight away. But yeah, there's one place where it's super hard to get past jumpless in this. You basically you need to take this specific gnome right here, that one, all the way to an area later on, which I'll show you, and then you need to land on his head and lure him over to grab a ledge to skip one jump, and it's just insanely stupid. And that's the hardest part about jumpless. Like it's literally common to spend like 10 minutes trying to get the gnome over here, because you have to get him all the way here. Like, I'm still going. You have to bring him through this area, which is insanely difficult, because you can't ledge grab with a gnome in your hand. He'll just fall out. And then you land on his head here and lure him over with beans so that you can grab this ledge, and it's just so stupid. But we can jump, so it doesn't matter. And if anybody's wondering, for jumpless, because why not? It's an interesting thing. It's possible to finish jumpless with all wizard cards. It's insanely difficult and will probably never happen, but it's possible. It is not currently possible to get all the secrets, and one of the secrets that we were missing is actually one in the previous room, the one in Potion's classroom. That's currently impossible to get to. And I'm trying to remember the other one, but I can't remember right now. So here we're gonna beat up Malfoy because he's mean. Why do I always get that? That fails. Oh wait, no, that was right. I'm stupid. That was terrible. I forgot how strats work. I had it correct the first time. So now we're gonna do a glitch to get rid of our HUD. So you'll see I have a scar in the top left. I forgot Flow. It's a new strat-ish. I have a scar in the top left, and now I don't. And basically we're going to use a glitch to skip Defendo by going to the last Quidditch match, which is not currently unlocked, and you'll see that. But we also want to skip cutscenes, and basically it's really difficult, so we're going to do not that. We're going to do that. And Harry keeps walking, and we skip the cutscene. You can exit the map. You see, this match isn't unlocked, but if we warp to if we've clicked on here and we warp to a different match during the load into Defendo, we'll skip all of Defendo and go to this match instead for some reason. So this is the one error key challenge that we have to fail because of that, because we can't see the arrows. But that's okay because it's also the fastest one to fail. It only loses about a second or two to fail rather than actually doing it. So like before this was a glitch, people would decide to fail it to go take a bathroom break or something, because this game has essentially no breaks otherwise. Yeah, more in Swedish. It loses like 2 in Swedish. Is it 4 really? I don't know. I've done like 3 total runs on Swedish because it was only found. We only got our hands on a Swedish copy like a few months ago, and then it was timed straight away. But I was busy learning all the other Harry Potter games to run what's called full series, which is running all 23 main series Harry Potter games in a row. It takes 40 hours and is stupid. But I did it, so.
Okay, Mr. Potter.
So I'm spamming on here, and then once I load into the next level, I pick this one, and it brings me to the Slytherin match instead. And we wanted to go to that last match because we take more damage from the opposing Seeker, who, because it's the Slytherin match, it's Malfoy. And he can kill us, and because it doesn't matter if we win or lose, because all we care about is leaving the level. Dying is actually the fastest way.
Tjena Harry, vill du byta? Vi köper i storpack och hela förtjänsten går dig till godo.
So now we actually have the Defendo spell, which is needed. Defendo is like the one spell that is stopping us from... Diffindo is the one spell, I think, that's stopping us from being able to beat this game in under 10 minutes. I think Diffindo and Rictus Emperor. Because basically, you can enter Forest on the first night, but you don't have any of the spells because the game isn't in... the game never gave them to you. Yeah, you can't get damage Aragog if you don't have Rictus Emperor. I don't know why I went here, that's the slow strat, but whatever. But yeah, if you were able to have all the spells, or all the spells minus Spongify, please clip up, on the first night, we would just enter the Forest on the first night, beat Forest, beat Aragog, beat Chamber, beat Snake, and then the game's over in like 7.5 minutes. But that isn't possible, so we have to play through a solid portion of the game. But it's actually kind of insane how much this game has dropped since I started running, what, 5.5, 6 years ago at this point? When I first ran this game, the record was 52 minutes, and it was essentially a glitchless run. And now the record is under 32 minutes, and it's insanely broken with brightness boosts and Quidditch warps. Coming up is one of the skips that was known at the time, which is called Dumbledore Skip. If we jump up here, there's a trigger on that platform that will bring us to Dumbledore's office for like a 2.5 minute sequence of unskippable cutscenes. Actually, I don't know how long it is in Swedish, it's probably less. But we can just jump around it like that. You can also boost around it, but I'm just so used to that method because you do it in glitchless anyways, that I've been doing it for 6 years, that it's just second nature to me. It actually uses quite a few different techniques though. Moving platform boost, double inputs, to actually get that. Oh, also I'm supposed to do this. That's wrong. No! That was my mistake. Whatever. I was supposed to warp to the Slytherin match again, but I messed up, so I guess we're just going to the Hufflepuff one. It's fine. It just takes a bit longer to die. Also, I just missed damage there, because the Hufflepuff Seeker doesn't hit us as often and doesn't do as much damage. It's maybe a 10-second mistake, 10, 15, depending on how bad of a match I have, and this was terrible. You can also hit the walls to die, but it's bad to do that because of this stupid thing that happens. Harry needs to actually hit the ground before the thing can end. There we go. And then Lee Jordan says one more line, and then we're free.
Tjena Harry, vill du byta? Vi köper i storpack och hela förtjänsten går dig till godo.
So that level that we entered and then warped straight out of was the Goyle level, where we follow Goyle through the gardens and get some of his hair for the Polyjuice potion. That was actually what all of the levels that weren't spell challenges were for. Bicorn to get the Bicorn horn. Then after our Diffindo warp, we went into the greenhouses to get the shredded boomslang skin, and then finally we got a piece of Goyle. And now we're gonna head back to the girls' lavatory to drink our Polyjuice potion. And then we get the best music and the best oh, well, the English voice actor is really good. I don't remember how the Swedish one is. But the music is really nice, so I'm gonna be quiet. That's their first damage that we actually took all run, and it was intentional. inputs now. In English, this was the best voice actor. I'm sure the Swedish one is just as good.
Rent blod.
It's not as good. You have to go back and watch an English run to really see what I mean. What am I doing? I'm doing the wrong inputs. So we do the same inputs as Defender there. You can do it also by jumping in instead of doing the map walk to keep walking in. But it doesn't really matter which one you do. But I keep forgetting the inputs because I haven't run this in forever. Really? Okay. Also, yeah, Flo was saying you can warp when you turn into Goyle, and if you get a perfect Quidditch match, you save about, what is it, like 1 second if you get perfect death in a Quidditch match. But if I was low on health, it could be worth it, but because the chances are you're gonna lose a lot more time. Seriously got the wrong ledge grab there? Okay, well we get to see the glitchless stair jumping, which is pretty fun. Oh god. This stair has good collision. Basically I got the wrong ledge grab there, so I couldn't actually make it up to this floor.
Koncentrera dig på symbolen framför dig. Låt inte mitt vackra utseende distrahera dig. Trollstaven som dyker upp.
Final spell challenge, which is a very long level indeed. It's a whole 15 seconds. So long.
Den här övningen består av 3 delar.
This is actually a very stressful level in the 100% category because of the time constraint. Basically, you have only a certain amount of time to beat the level, 250 seconds to beat it with a requirement. But there's literally 16 secrets in the level, so beating it in 250 seconds is really difficult.
Bra, Harry.
Like, you have maybe 10 to 15 seconds of leeway for mistakes, but like you have to make this cycle at the beginning, which relies on having good RNG, and then you need good RNG later from an imp and a gnome, and it's just really stupid. But at 90%, we just have to get to the challenge star, which is literally in a tower straight above us, so it takes 15 seconds.
Harry. Du har gått vidare till nästa rond. 10 poäng till Gryffindor.
I mean, they are warned that the staircases move when they first arrive at Hogwarts, so it's not really... The Hogwarts isn't liable in this case, I would say.
Härligt, grabben. Du har klarat alla övningarna. 15 poäng till Gryffindor.
It's a hard level coming up. That's a strat that is completely useless, but it's fun. We're just gonna boost straight up, and hey look, we're done the level.
Är du intresserad av ett byte?
So now that we have all the spells, we can beat the game. So, the Holy Grail for this game, or there's 2 Holy Grail speedrunning strats for this game. If we find them, it would be amazing. One is to get all the spells on the first night, which, like I said earlier, would beat it in about 7.5 minutes. And the other would be to clip into chamber early, which would be the way that would work is we would get Defendo, so we get Rictus Emperor, Scourge, Defendo, and then go clip into chamber and then go beat the game, and that would result in like a 20 to 22 minute speed run. But like the trigger to actually enter chamber is there all this time, but we just can't What am I doing? I need to actually get through there. But we just can't get to the trigger. But if we could, we would be able to beat the game a lot faster. So if anybody is looking to glitch hunt, strat hunt, have at her. I mean, it's not like there's been a million people that have tried it, but you know, you might get lucky.
Är du intresserad av ett byte?
Also, for anybody wondering how Quidditch warps work, essentially there's like a menu in a Quidditch menu in off of the main menu that can show you your results from the 6 Quidditch matches that you've had so far, but they don't normally let you warp to it. But if we do that glitch where we get rid of our HUD by storing the Quidditch menu using F4, which essentially just closes all menus instead of just going back a menu, which Escape does. That stores the Quidditch menu, and then if we open the map and then close it with Escape, it leaves us on the Quidditch menu for some reason, but that Quidditch menu actually lets you warp to the matches that you have unlocked for some reason. So it really makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. Alright, Forest is actually quite a difficult level after some new strats were found. Not too bad though. Hopefully we'll get this frog coming up that will get us back to near full health. He jumps in a random direction. That wasn't too bad though. I was gonna say that's decent timing, you can tell by seeing both of the pixies, but they got stuck on the wall. So these next 2 boosts, getting this boost optimally is difficult. And then this one, you wanna keep your Spongify, get a medium ledge grab here. I got the wrong medium, but it will work. And then because you didn't land from the Spongify, you don't take any fall damage. Because I landed into a ledge grab rather than actually landing. So Harry still has the Spongify effect on him, and you can take fall damage in that state. Now this boost is annoying. You have to grab the ledge in a... That's weird. Grab the ledge in a specific part, and then boost during a specific part of the animation to actually clip through the tree there. My first boost didn't work because apparently it didn't click back onto the game before I started mashing my arrow keys. Which I disagree with, but whatever. So here we're going to use this pause casting to get all these webs with only using 2. And you get, I'll just let you listen to Swedish Aragog. So yeah, for some reason that's different sound than on English. Like, I don't see why they would need to do that, but yeah. And the other weird thing is Aragog is super loud because what am I doing? They forgot to assign a few things. One being Aragog, the others being the airplane cutscene and Peeves to either the brightness or not the brightness. The sound or the music slider in this game. So for some reason, those 3 things are always at 100%, no matter what you do. Also, I got the RNG frog here. So they're really loud no matter what you do, essentially. Alright. First thing we do in Forest is, or not Forest, Chamber, is abuse more Spongifies. Because when you land from a Spongify, you don't take fall damage. And now we're doing a glitch that was found like years and years ago, but was finally made decently consistent or it was made consistent last year, this year, last year. I don't remember. You can shoot that Scourge from below. It saves like 10 seconds. So like, even though I got it third try there, I still saved like probably 6 seconds, 5 or 6 seconds. I guess actually now that you mention that, they would have a voice actor for Aragog, because Aragog does have lines in the cutscenes, so they got that person to do his like grunting noises. So I guess that kind of makes sense that it's a different Aragog sound, but still it's weird. Alright, so we're halfway done with Chamber. We just got the second half of Chamber and then Snake, and we're done. Here we go, medium lich grab. Just get up here early. It's kind of insane how many boosts we do, considering the first run that ever did boosts only did like 4 or 5 boosts. And only beat the world record at the time by like a minute, and now runs typically beat that world record by 10 minutes. But to be fair, the guy that found brightness boosting, Max G, didn't have time to... He just did a run, he didn't like route out all possible brightness boosting. And at the time, brightness boosting was a lot slower because you couldn't do multiple boosts at once. Like you would have to pause every time you wanted to do a boost. You could still do multiple boosts per lich grab like we do. Yeah, it's consistent. I'm just not consistent at it because I haven't run PC games in a very long time, consistently. Like, I haven't run PC consistently since that was made consistent. Just boost up into wall walk here. It's nice. Alright, we got Snake. So I'm gonna go for 2 cycle, because why not? Snake's fun. I'll just let you enjoy it. I'll concentrate on it. First we basically stun lock him here. That's kind of bad. Took an extra shot. I'll go for it. I doubt I'll get it though. No, I got it. Easy Snake. So basically, if you take damage while you are in the second half of, like after you've, in the animation, after you've casted a spell, you store a spell at full power. Also time on the load screen. Time. And that lets you get in like 6 or 7 hits at once, or in one cycle. Right flow, nice estimate, yeah. But I will still be here for quite a while because the next run is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for PC, which is also by me. We'll let you enjoy the house point ceremony that Gryffindor is totally not gonna win. No way he's gonna win it, okay? Just trust me, Gryffindor can't possibly win.
Tror att vi tar hem den i år igen? När du och Harry räddade Hogwarts. Det tror jag nog.
På 4:e plats, Ravenclaw.
Tack för att han inte sa sista plats.
På 3:e plats, Hufflepuff.
Tack.
If anybody understands Swedish.
Helt tillräckligt.
Och elevhemmet på 2:a plats.
Det blir ni, Gryffindor. Ni är den ständiga tvåan. Ni kommer inte att stjäla elevhemspokalen från Slytherin som ni gjorde förra året.
Som nätt och jämnt undgått diskvalificering, Slytherin.
Va?
Det betyder ju...
Första platsen och elevhemspokalen går till Gryffindor.
Ja!
I think Dumbledore cheated because Gryffindor won. Also, I don't know if we're taking a break before my next run or what we're doing. Somebody should.
Yes, we're gonna take a short break.
Okay.
Such a fair competition, this House Cup.
Oh yeah, it's weird. In some of the games in the series, you actually have to get enough points to win the House Cup, but in others they just give it to you no matter what you do.
Okay, so we're gonna go to a short break, so you can set up your 100% run of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And I will give a few shoutouts and then give the mic to Conception. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for donating. We already doubled our goal, even more. More than doubled the goal. I want to give a very special shout out to Casasaur, because this marathon was basically their idea. So thank you very, very much. And thank you everybody for making this a reality. Especially Conception 2, Mailin, Ness _, and I'm sure I forgot people and I'm sorry. But thank you everybody so much for organizing this, and yeah, I will give the microphone to Conception 2, and I will be hosting again tomorrow. And yeah, see you in chat, I guess.